Isaac Netero is remembered as the greatest martial artist in human history, the man who transcended physical limitations through gratitude and prayer. But long before he became chairman, teacher, and savior of the East Gortal, Netero was something far more dangerous, a young explorer who touched the edges of the Dark Continent, and this part of his life is intentionally erased from most public records. Decades before the Hunter exam was standardized, Netero volunteered for an expedition funded by a secretive early branch of what would later become the V5. At the time, humanity believed the world outside the known map was an endless sea. Netero learned the truth. The world was enclosed by Lake Mobius, and beyond that water lay the true Earth, the Dark Continent, a place older than humanity, filled with life that humans cannot classify. Netero was young, ambitious, and hungry. He wanted to test himself against the greatest forces in creation. He got his wish, and it nearly got him killed. On his earliest expedition, Netero's team encountered something the association later labeled a Great Calamity-class lifeform. The record hint at two possibilities: Pap the immortal serpent, which is a creature whose biology breaks the rules of aging, death, and regeneration. Brion the autonomous weapon, a living war machine built by an ancient civilization well before the human era. Every official document referencing this expedition has been redacted, altered, or sealed, but we know three things. Netero was the only survivor. He came back changed, spiritually and psychologically, and he refused to ever speak of what he saw. This expedition happened before he sought enlightenment through his 10,000 daily punches. Many people believe his obsession with finding something stronger came directly from this encounter. Years later, Netero returned to the Dark Continent with a much larger government-backed team. This one is better documented. He witnessed the Zobai disease, a sentient airborne entity, a region where weather itself redacted to emotion, and ancient ruins possibly tied to the same civilization that created Brion. This time, several team members survived, but all returned mentally scarred, physically altered, or cursed. Netero again refused to give detail, but he took responsibility for those failures, and he swore to never lead a team to another Dark Continent expedition. And the V5 sealed all records of his involvement. Now let's talk about the reason why he never spoke about it. Netero was not afraid to fight, but he deeply feared one thing: humanity's arrogance. He saw men believe they could classify the Dark Continent. He saw governments try to weaponize its creatures. He saw entire teams die because of pride. And he learned the truth he never wanted humanity to face. Humans are invaders of this planet, not the apex. And that is very true indeed. But hey, we're gonna learn very soon. So he buried his expeditions and protected the world by using his reputation and political influence to stop reckless exploration. But he did something people never expected. He chose a successor. And this successor was his son, Brion Netero. He grew up hearing stories from his father that suggested that the world was bigger, older, and crueler than any map suggested. But what pushed him over the edge was learning his father had been to the Dark Continent multiple times, and that even the great Isaac Netero, the strongest martial artist alive, had failed. And this created a really twisted relationship. Isaac believed humanity should stay away because we are not ready, while his son... His son has an evil look to him, but he believes that humanity must go. The world belongs to us now. Brion sees the Dark Continent not as a threat, but as humanity's next evolutionary step. His ambitions are crazy, and his ambitions are quite literally the opposite of Netero's caution. But ironically, he could only dream this big because Netero survived to tell him the tale that was out there. And just so you know, Brion is very, 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 very calculated. I mean, just by the looks of him, just by his smile, just by the way he grins, you can just tell he's thought of every detail when creating this plan. He formed the Brion Expeditionary Team, outmaneuvering the V5 to reach the Dark Continent with corporate and rogue support. This is his opportunity to claim a greater discovery than anything his father ever achieved. It's not rebellion, this is legacy in reverse. He's trying to finish the story his father refused to continue.